In 2008, the polar bear was listed as a threatened species under the U.S. Endangered Species Act due to sea ice loss from climate change. We already knew that greenhouse gas emissions from burning fossil fuels were contributing to warming in the Arctic and causing more ice-free days. But at that time, the impact of emissions from one new project, like an oil well or coal-burning power plant, could not be singled out from the impacts of all greenhouse gases emitted since the beginning of the industrial age. In addition, scientists had not yet determined how polar bear survival rates were being affected by the impacts of more ice-free days in the Arctic. As a result of these unknowns, the U.S. Department of the Interior issued the Bernhardt Memo, a caveat to the listing that prevented authorities from considering the impacts of greenhouse gas emissions on polar bears when issuing permits for new projects. This memo remained in place through the Bush and Obama years and still holds today. However, studies over time have resolved the issues cited in this memo. A groundbreaking new paper led by our chief scientist shows that we can now link specific quantities of emissions to the resulting number of ice-free days in the Arctic. Each additional ice-free day can then be linked to a specific decline in polar bear survival rates. The government is required to use the best scientific data when making decisions that impact threatened or endangered species. Because of this paper, the best scientific data now provides a way of measuring the impacts of a single project on polar bear survival, thus closing the loophole in the Endangered Species Act created by the Bernhardt Memo. This approach can also be applied to other species impacted by climate change, and it can serve as a model for other countries weighing development impacts. We call that a win for polar bears and for all of us.